turn on your camera, you'll be fine, right? Hello, pottery friends. Welcome back to the studio. Remember the gift, the jungle gems my friend brought me? And I've been testing them. And you saw the big, I can show you the big bowl. Hold on. These are all the colors of the jungle gems, fired to cone 5.5 fish. And I've done some more testing and I am wanting to do even more. I've done some testing with other stable glazes. I've done some testing on white clay. And I want to do some testing on my dark clay. Because that's what I have. So I was throwing test tiles. And I thought, why not show you how I do that? I mean, it's not spectacular. But yeah, why not? So I will switcheroo the camera and zoom in here. I throw them off the hump, and this is the last bit of the hump. When I thought, oh, well, hold on, let's get the camera and share this. So yeah, I'll turn you around and get you down on the wheel with me. So there we go. This is my last bit of the hump. And what I do is I throw tubes. And if you're, let me center this a little bit. If you're throwing on the hump, you do not have to center the whole hump, just the top part, but this is not that much anymore. So I start out with the way you cone up. Okay, there we go. The way you cone up, that's how I start. This is a solid, sort of kind of tube. Oh no, a solid tube, yeah, right. This is, yeah, I don't know what I'll call it. Then I will go in and make a hole. Oh, there was still a hole in there from the previous one, but hey, these do not have to be perfect. But I do like them approximately the same size. This is reclaim. I just took out and wedged it up. It's very soft, so I have to slow my wheel down. And I just make a longish, oh, there's a hump in there. Of course, this happens now when I turn on the camera. I haven't had a hump yet, a bump, hump, whatever. Yeah, it's a piece of clay that's a little bit stiffer than the rest. God. Yeah. Turn on your camera, you'll be fine, right? Oh, my word. Look, there it comes. Oh, that irritates me. It's not a problem for test style, but it irritates me. Let's try again. That's better. So pretend that didn't happen, because it never does, right? I make them to the sort of kind of the diameter I want, but a little bit smaller. That's all up to you. I'm going to put these on a board later, so I want them to be hung. So I'm going to make a hole in. Oh, you'll see that. Let's stay here. Stay in the moment. So I throw a tube, which of course has now a wobbly top, which is not important for a test style, but hey, I've got some OCD in me as well, so let's take it off. There we go. Is this long enough? Almost. So there's my tube, and I have a bank card cut up, an old bank card. This is the size I use every time I make test tiles, so they're all approximately the same size. So I first take off the slip and pull a little bit more if it feels thick. make it straight, sorta, kinda. Yeah, good enough. I put this card on there, and I will make a line with the bottom part. Can you see that line coming right there? I will then dry my hands, take my needle tool. Where are you? Come on. Put my needle tool in at an angle, not straight but at an angle. It makes it less wobbly in my experience. And as soon as that tube starts to move around, I can, with the wheel still turning, pick it up and I'll put it aside. I am now to the end of my hump. So I can go all the way down to the wheel back. Let's see if I can make one more. Some clay coming off here. I'm squeezing all that clay in, so I'm going to have to, all these platelets are coming together because it was all white down there. So yeah, you get a wobbly top. Well, it is wobbly. You should have seen the 12 other ones that I made. Too funny, too funny. Coloring it to the diameter I like it. And then it gets a bit thicker, so I am doing one more pull. Grabbing my bank card, taking off the slip. I take off the slip because if I don't, I couldn't grab it. It would be too slippery. Make it straight, put in a line, dry my hands, needle tool. I just have my hands here just in case it flies off. It hasn't happened yet, but you know, let's just jinx it, right? Oh, now it starts wobbling. This is the last one, so I turn off the wheel, and there we go. Let me show you my little plate with textiles. Can I get one more out of this? No, that's not enough. Okay. Be careful. There they are. Approximately the same size. Can I get them closer? I mean, is it interesting? Oh boy, that's a bit too close. I'll leave them here. I will be doing some more with these. So, yeah, I'm going to have to let these set up. And then I'm going to punch a hole and do some texture and things like that. So, I'll be back. Well, here we are. They have dried enough for me to do just one more thing. I will show you up close. They've dried enough. I flipped them over so the bottom can dry a little bit. It's still soft, but that's fine. And what I will do now, let me pick one. There's one. It's just a simple tube. I take a hole borer. Well, you know how that works, right? Yes. This way. Oh, it's stuck. There it goes. I have a board with nails, and I will hang this on the nail. And across from that hole, is sort of kind of the middle. So from the middle towards that hole, I will take a stamp. It's just a bisque one. It's very simple, not spectacular, but it makes texture. Because I want my test tile to be divided in half. One half smooth, one half with texture. So I will, half of this I will press in some of this stamp. This is a bisque one that has this and this. So it makes two different kind of, but you know, it's just so that we have textured so we can see what will happen. That's all. It doesn't have to be art. So there it is. There's the hole, and there's the part with the texture, and then the rest is smooth. And I leave a little space on the bottom without texture so I can write on it with underglaze what I'm doing. And I'll show you a finished one of my tests. Hold on. Where am I? This is one of them. This one also has some slip trailing on it, but I didn't have any slip at the ready from this clay, so I couldn't. And the reason why is that this clay has grog in it, so if I take slip from my throwing bucket, it has grog in it and it will clog up my nozzle of my slip trailer. And I usually take my clay body and put it through a 100 mesh sieve, so it's absolutely smooth and it won't clog up that much. I didn't want to. It's a test tile. It's about texture. It's all fine. But here you are. This is one of them. Can you? And this is what I do. I have white underglaze. Is it white under? Yeah, it's a white Amico underglaze. I don't even have it anymore. It's the last bit. Look, it's the last bit in one of these that I use to write on my black clay. And this is one time yellow ore by Laguna underneath, and on top, that's why I write it there, is one time it was one of the jungle gems. And because I am experimenting with these jungle gems, that's why I'm doing this. So I will continue. Oh, by the way, what I also do, I just put some texture on this one. Some of them have a little bit more clay on the bottom, just because of how I cut them off the wheel, or off the hump. Where we have one, yeah, look, like this one. It's a bit thick on the bottom. It doesn't really matter, but you know, why waste so much clay? I take a knife, in this case my fettling knife. I just cut that out. It's a little bit lighter now. I just make sure there are no sharp edges. I, you know, thumb it off a bit so it's smooth, and you don't want to spend hours and hours and hours on the test tile, right? So let me do one more. I will punch a hole. And then take my stamp. I don't care if it's going out of round, it's all fine. Unless I'm making a real mess of it. You know, I'll just... It's still a bit soft, but you know. There we go. One more to hang on my board once I have a test on it. So yeah, I have these to go. I have one more board of these, and because I do not have any white clay, I might cover those in my white slip, just because I want some test on it. But once I get to there, and if I do it, you never know with me, do you? We'll see. We'll just see. Oh, here we are again. I have a bunch of the test, oh, you can't see them, they're over there. And I have a few of them here. They all have their texture and a hole and just a little smooth off so I don't have any sharp edges. I'll put them here. You can't see them, but oh yeah, you can. Hold on. Look. Put this aside. This is. Look. You can see. So, as I said, I want to try some of these jungle gems on top of a more stable glaze and see what happens. And so, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, on the white clay. Don't have white clay, so these need to have slip. And this is one of my yogurt buckets of slip. When I make slip, or when I make the slurry for the slip, I make it a lot thinner than I would use it for slip trailing, simply because it goes through the sieve easier. And if I need to, then I need to have it a little bit thicker. I just leave the lid off and keep stirring it, leave the lid off, and then it will thicken up a bit. This is the last batch of slip that I made. This has not had the lid off yet, and this is very thin. So I'm just going to dunk these into this and we'll see what happens. There we go. Nice coverage. The texture is of course a little bit filled in now, but we'll see. Maybe it could even be thinner, but then it's not that white. I've had projects where I put slip on that I had to do 2 or 3 coats because the black clay was still coming through. So, yeah, I think we're good. Et voila. So that's how I will be doing that. And yeah, I'll come back to you when I have more. See you then.